You've worked hard to get your peace back. You've accepted the silence to focus on healing and found strength in the stillness. Now you're starting to really enjoy this new balance. Her text message could be a casual "hey" or something more serious. Now you must choose between responding or allowing the silence to speak for itself. These aren't just words. They're about self-respect, boundaries, and knowing your worth. Every choice you make now will reflect the person you've become in this moment. You don't just need advice. You need clarity, the kind that only timeless Stoic wisdom can give you. Today I'll walk you through this decision step by step, showing you how to stay grounded, protect your peace, and make a choice that is in line with your highest self. First, let's take a moment to stop. Hold on when you react. Think about what you're going to do before you type or let your feelings take over. Take a moment to really pause. That pause isn't just a delay, it's a statement of control. Silence is powerful, and it's not just about how it affects her, it's also about how it affects you. Think about it. When we act without thinking, when we let fleeting emotions guide us, we lose clarity. And clarity is the basis of making smart decisions. Imagine that a Stoic philosopher in ancient Rome got a letter. Do you think he would reply quickly, letting his feelings guide his actions? He would pause and think about what he could control and what he couldn't. That's the way you need to think when she reaches out to you. Take a deep breath, step back, and ask yourself what you really want. It's tempting to react immediately to re-establish the connection, not only in the moment, but also for your future self. Before doing that, consider what's driving that urge, making you feel wanted again, or aligning with your values and goals. It might feel good to act without thinking for a moment, but is it the best choice for your long-term self-respect and peace of mind? If she sends you a simple message saying, "Hey, I've been thinking about you," you might feel relieved, curious, or even excited. But before you type a word, channel your inner Stoic and read the message. Then put down your phone and give yourself time to think. Why is she reaching out now? What does this mean for you? What do you really want from this interaction? Is this a door worth reopening, or is it better left closed? It's not weakness to pause, it's self-discipline. By not reacting right away, you send a strong message to her, but more importantly to yourself, that you're not at the mercy of outside events. You're not here to be anyone's emotional safety net. Your life, your time, and your peace of mind are far too valuable for that. Now let's get real. Silence isn't just about not responding, it's about reclaiming your power. When you respond impulsively, you relinquish control over your emotions. However, when you pause, reflect, and act with intention, you demonstrate your control and command respect. So should you keep ignoring her? Perhaps the answer lies elsewhere. The real answer isn't in her message, it's in your values and intentions. Is responding what's best for you, or is staying silent the choice that aligns with your inner peace and self-respect, just like a Stoic? Your objective is to remain steadfast in your own truth, unaffected by external influences. Take your time and let the PA work for you. In that space you'll find your answer and your power. What's the point of her message? You might wonder if she feels bad about how things ended, if she's just lonely, or if she really misses me. Sometimes these thoughts can take over your mind and make you think about things that aren't true. It's like chasing shadows to try to figure out what she wants. You'll never know what's really going on in her mind or heart unless she tells you. And even then, people don't always understand what they're trying to say. This is where Stoicism's wisdom shows. Stoic Bux once said that we suffer more in our minds than in real life. She gave her reasons, her timing, and her thoughts. Nothing you can do can reach or affect any of these things. What is within your grasp is how you respond. The choice of whether to let this situation disrupt your inner peace or handle it with clarity and composure is entirely yours. So instead of getting caught up in the why of her message, shift your attention to what it means for you. What does her reaching out bring into your life? Is this an opportunity to reconnect in a meaningful way, or is it simply a test of the boundaries you've set for yourself? Think about it. Have you truly healed, or are you still in a vulnerable place where hearing from her stirs old emotions that aren't fully processed? Let's say she sends a casual, "Hey, how have you been?" after weeks of no contact. If you're in a calm, clear-headed place, you might see her message for what it is, an opening for communication. But if you're still carrying unresolved feelings, it's easy to read too much into it and let your emotions take over. This is why it's crucial to pause before responding. Ask yourself, does engaging with her serve my peace of mind, or does it risk pulling me back into a situation? I've worked hard to move past Stoicism teaches us to think things through instead of acting on emotion. Imagine yourself as a resilient rock standing firm against the crashing waves of the sea. Her message may hit you like a wave, but don't let it overwhelm you. Think before you act. Does answering her message fit with your values and goals, or would it throw off the inner balance you've been working to achieve? Sometimes keeping quiet doesn't mean ignoring her. It means respecting the boundaries you've set for yourself. Being silent can demonstrate your strength, celebrate your progress, and maintain your peace. Sometimes an answer might feel right if it fits with your understanding and self-respect. The important thing is that you should make the choice, not her, or based on what you think she wants. If she reaches out, don't answer right away or think too much about what she said. Take a deep breath, think, and ask yourself, is this the path I want to take? Keep in mind that safeguarding your peace of mind is crucial, despite the allure of returning to the unknown. Now I'd love to hear your thoughts. If someone unexpectedly reached out to you, did you respond or maintain your position? If this resonates with you, simply write "My peace comes first" in the comments section to serve as a reminder to yourself and others that maintaining your inner balance is always important. Let's talk about things below number 3. What are your feelings? How you're feeling is important. Take a moment to ask yourself, are you emotionally healthy? Can you handle this contact without falling back into old habits or hurting yourself again after working so hard to heal? These are questions that need honest answers. If her message makes you doubt, feel hurt, or be confused, you should take a moment to think about what's best for you right now. Seneca once advised ignoring turmoil to achieve relaxation. If her message makes you feel bad, responding might not be the best idea. Choice. The Stoics teach us that we should not risk our peace of mind for short-term approval or closure. Imagine that you've spent weeks working on yourself and boosting your confidence. Now that you've learned what makes you happy and how to stand firm on your values, one text from her could take you back to a place you've worked hard to leave behind. The question isn't about her intentions, it's about yours. Are you ready to respond without putting your emotional stability at risk? For example, if her message says, "I've been thinking about you a lot lately," it might be tempting to reply to find out what she means. But if that message makes you hopeful, that could lead to disappointment. The cost might be too high. Instead, picture yourself as a Stoic. If you were calm, collected, and grounded right now, would you choose your inner peace or the short-lived pleasure of answering her? There's power in silence, especially when it comes from strength, not weakness. By not answering, you show yourself and her that you value your peace of mind more than the need to explain yourself or find closure. Say more than any words. Could not responding isn't a way to punish her. It's a way to protect yourself and recognize that your emotional health comes first, as it should. If you feel truly ready, grounded, and unaffected by the outcome, then maybe responding could be a meaningful step forward. But if her message even slightly upsets you, let the Stoics' advice remind you to maintain your composure. Your peace of mind is important, and no one, no matter how much they meant to you, should be able to change the security you've worked so hard to build. Is remaining silent still the best answer? At step 4, is silence still the best solution? One of the most underrated tools in any relationship is silence. If you've been using it right, you've probably already started to see its power. Let's think about it for a moment. Has ignoring her given you the time and space to rebuild your confidence? It's time to get back on track with your goals and regain your sense of self. Think about what breaking that silence would mean to you. Really get. Will answering make things clearer or open them up again? When it comes to old wounds that you've worked hard to heal, Stoicism can help us. In this case, Seneca once said, "He who is brave is free." Being strong can mean being able to accept silence. Even if it prompts you to respond, it can be a sign of strength. It's not about avoiding something, it's about reclaiming your freedom from needless drama, mental turmoil, or the need to defend yourself. By keeping quiet, you set limits with quiet confidence, showing that your peace of mind is more important than any fleeting moment of engagement. This choice shows strength, not weakness, and shows that you are committed to staying in charge of your inner world. Let's say she gets in touch with you after a while of silence. Perhaps she is attempting to apologize, or perhaps she is simply experimenting. Before you respond, take a step back and ask yourself if her reaching out has really changed anything. Has she understood why you needed space in the first place? Or does this feel more like a way for her to deal with her own discomfort with your absence? Silence can help you grow, and it can also help her think about her own actions and intentions. As an example, let's say you've been ignoring her after a messy breakup or a fight where she crossed a boundary you set. During that time of silence, you've been getting stronger, going to the gym, hanging out with friends, or starting a new project that gets you excited. Now she sends you a late-night message saying, "I miss you." It's tempting to reply, but think about it. Does this message address what went wrong, or is it just her way of seeing if she can still reach you? A response might feel good in the moment, but would it be in line with your progress? Stoicism teaches us to act with reason, not emotion. You're not being cold or mean if you choose not to reply. It's a choice to honor your journey and protect the progress you've made. Your peace of mind is worth more than the short-term approval of a reply. If you do choose to respond, do it because it feels right for you, not out of fear, guilt, or a desire to make her happy. And if you choose to stay silent, know that this isn't weakness. It's strength. It's wisdom. And sometimes it's the clearest way to say exactly what you mean. What did it do to change the outcome? Share your story in the comments below, or if you don't know what to say, just type "silence is strength" to let us know you're following this principle. Your thoughts could help someone else on their journey. Number 5. Responding without losing ground. If you decide to reply, do so with clarity, confidence, and calmness. Use your words as tools instead of guns or shields. Use simple tools to express your thoughts and manage your chaos effectively. Keep your message short, clear, and neutral. Don't go into too much detail or emotional areas. Do not forget what the Stoics teach us. Say only what you need to say. You're not here to win her over or defend yourself. You're here to act in line with who you are. Responding from a place of calm self-control shows power. It means you're not feeling emotionally scarce, but rather abundant. For instance, if she texts you, "Hey, I've been thinking about you. How are you?" You might be tempted to scrutinize every word to determine if it's an attempt at reconciliation or if she's simply experimenting. But instead of letting those thoughts spiral around your response, or lack thereof, a neutral, well-written response like, "I'm doing well, thanks for checking in, hope you're doing okay too," would show that you're not chasing or overly invested in the relationship. You're just being true to yourself. What if you choose not to answer at all? That can also be a strong move. Stoicism tells us to only think about the things we can change, and her reasons for reaching out are, in addition, you can decide if the talk is in line with your values and good for your mental health. If it doesn't, if answering would make you think too much or bring up old hurts, then staying quiet may be the best thing you can do. If you stay quiet, it's often a sign of strength. It says, "I'm at peace, and I don't need to disturb that for anyone." By staying calm and detached, you not only protect your peace, but also boost your own sense of self-worth. You send a message to her, and, more importantly, to yourself, that you are whole on your own and aren't looking for outside validation, because you know your worth isn't based on her attention or approval. Ask yourself, does responding align with my values? What I believe in, will this interaction make my life better, or am I only doing it to fill a short-term need? Whatever decision you make, the Stoics say, do it with strength, dignity, and self-respect. The Stoics teach us that living with purpose and adhering to our values leads to the best life. This is your story. Whether she's in it or not, you are stable, grounded, and enough. Be wise and kind as you write it, and let every word and pause show what kind of person you've worked so hard to become. That's the power of real strength. That's what Stoicism is all about. Just because she reached out doesn't mean she deserves to be back in your life. Consider this carefully. Is her outreach motivated by her appreciation and respect for you, or is it merely an attempt to explore new possibilities? She was seeking support or a means to alleviate her personal suffering as a Stoic. You are responsible for your principles and the life you're building, not for how she feels. It's important to maintain your composure and adhere to the values you've diligently established. Ask yourself, does her message match the kind of relationship I want? Does it match the respect, trust, and consistency I'm looking for? I expect someone in my life to be stoic and not give up his values for a quick moment of comfort or attention. Consider your values as the guiding compass for your journey. Your decisions should remain true to the direction you've set for your life, just as a ship stays on course in rough seas or sudden gusts of wind. For example, if she texts you saying, "I miss you," those words might feel good at first. They might even give you hope. But take a moment to look deeper. What's behind that message? If her past actions consistently show disrespect or a lack of effort, does this text really show that she has changed, or is it just an emotional response on her part? A Stoic attitude doesn't ignore these questions. It helps you think clearly and quietly about what's going on, instead of giving in to your feelings. Ignoring her out of anger or bitterness isn't the point. It's about protecting your progress and your peace of mind. Deciding not to respond or responding with thoughtful restraint doesn't mean you're closing the door forever. It means you're taking the time to decide if this interaction fits with the man you're becoming. A Stoic man understands the value of patience and perspective, refraining from making hasty decisions in times of weakness. Remember that being able to step back is what makes you strong. Being wise doesn't depend on how quickly you act or how much you're willing to change for someone else. You're known for being able to stay true to yourself even when it's hard. When she calls out, don't let the pressure of the moment take over. Instead, let your values guide you. If she does something that doesn't follow the rules you've set, it's okay to step back. The choices you make are based on your beliefs, not short-lived feelings or outside forces. Think about it. Keep going. And most importantly, remember that your worth doesn't come from other people's attention. It comes from the respect you have for yourself and the life you're building. If you've read this far, it's clear that you're committed to understanding your worth and building a life based on respect and emotional strength. That's a journey that not everyone has the courage to take. Now we want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on this topic? How do you handle it when someone from your past contacts you? Share your thoughts in the comments below, or if you'd rather, just type "I choose peace" to confirm your promise to keep your progress safe and stay true to what you believe in. Your journey inspires others. Seventh, let's keep the talk going. What's the balance between how to find the right balance between forgiveness and limits? Setting limits and forgiving. In fact, forgiving someone is a powerful thing to do. But let's take a moment to talk about what it really means. To forgive someone isn't to erase what happened or act like the hurt didn't happen. It's to free yourself from the weight of anger. It's about reclaiming your peace of mind, not giving them permission to come back into your life without any questions asked. Seneca said that to forgive is to set a prisoner free and find that the prisoner was yourself. Forgiving her releases the anger, disappointment, or frustration you've been carrying. It's a gift you offer yourself to move forward, but it doesn't imply a lowering of your standards or abandonment of your life's standards. This is where boundaries come in. When someone leaves your life or breaks your trust, the space you create isn't just a void, it's a safeguard for your emotional health. You set boundaries not to punish others, but to safeguard the peace you've diligently cultivated. If she reaches out, ask yourself what has changed. Has she shown real growth, or is this just a temporary moment of regret? Stoicism tells us to think about the things we can change, like our actions, our feelings, and how we react. You can't change her intentions, but you can decide if you want to let her back into your life on your own terms. If you answer, do so with clarity and self-respect. If you choose to stay quiet, do so out of wisdom, not anger. The point of forgiveness is to let go of what no longer serves you while keeping the lessons you've learned. Remember that forgiving someone doesn't mean you forget your worth or give up the values that keep you grounded. It's a way to grow and a sign of how strong you are. Whether you answer or not, let your actions show that you care about and respect yourself. 8. When the past becomes a distraction, it's normal to have a lot of different feelings when she calls after a long silence. It might make you remember something. You may wonder what went wrong or if your silence was appropriate after those long talks, laughs, or fights that don't seem to have resolved. But here's something to keep in mind. The past is fixed. No amount of thinking about it too much or going over it again will change what happened. Marcus Aurelius once said, "What stands in the way of action becomes the way." This is your chance to show that wisdom. Her reaching out doesn't have to be a problem or a source of confusion. It can be a chance to get stronger, more focused, and more in control of your emotions. Think about this moment as a reflection of the present, not a shadow of the past. Why did you choose silence in the first place? Was it to set boundaries, to focus on yourself, to reclaim your peace? Whatever the reason, honor it. Don't let the temptation to revisit old habits or unresolved feelings derail the progress you've made. For example, if she's reaching out with casual messages or trying to rekindle something, take a moment to reflect. Is she genuinely addressing the issues that led to the distance? Or does this feel more like her trying to test the waters of your attention? If it's the latter, responding without thought could reopen wounds or undo the space you needed to heal. Sometimes the most stoic act is to stay the course, to prioritize your inner stability over fleeting emotions. When the past calls, remember you don't have to answer right away or even at all. Every situation is unique, But the key lies in your intention. Are you acting out of clarity and self-respect, or are you letting nostalgia and fear drive your decisions? As a Stoic, you know that you can't control other people's actions, but you can control how you react. Or if you react at all. In these situations, the best gift you can give yourself is time and space to think. Does her reaching out align with the direction you want your life to go, or is it just a detour that threatens to take you off your path? Whatever you decide, make it from a place of calm confidence, not emotional turbulence. And remember that silence isn't just a lack of words, it's a powerful choice to protect your peace. How do you handle situations where the past comes calling? Have you found ways to stay grounded and true to yourself, despite the pull of old memories or emotions? Leave your thoughts in the comments or just type, "Stay the course," if this speaks to you. Your point of view could be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. Number 9. The power to decide how deciding to be away can help you. Getting away. Being distant doesn't require being cold or cruel. You don't have to ignore someone to win or make them feel bad. Detachment is about keeping your peace. It's about making room in your life so that outside events, like that surprise message from her, don't shake your foundation or mess up your inner calm. Consider yourself as the tranquility that precedes the chaos. Even though everything around you may be spinning or a mess, you are still calm, centered, and unshaken. I know that's easier said than done, especially if her reaching out makes you feel things you've been trying to let go of. But that's where Stoicism becomes useful. A Stoic man doesn't cling to outcomes or allow his emotions to influence his decisions. He prioritizes his mental well-being. Additionally, consider this. If you consistently react to the actions of others, such as unexpected texts or withdrawals, you are relinquishing your own authority. You can get that power back through detachment. But here's something important. Detachment isn't indifference. It doesn't mean you don't care. It means you've chosen to prioritize yourself. Let's say she reaches out after weeks of silence. Instead of immediately responding out of hope, anger, or even relief, you pause. You ask yourself, does engaging with her serve me? Does it align with the boundaries? I've set that pause. That moment where you choose not to react emotionally is where your strength lies. Imagine you've spent weeks rebuilding yourself after she walked away. You've been focusing on your goals, your passions, and your peace of mind. Suddenly she sends a simple, "Hey, what do you do?" The old you might have jumped at the chance to reconnect, hoping it meant something more, but now, with this new sense of detachment, you see her message for what it is, an external event. It doesn't define you, and it doesn't require you to sacrifice the progress you've made. A true Stoic knows that not every action demands a reaction. Sometimes silence is the most powerful response, not as a game or a tactic, but as a statement that your peace is non-negotiable. To be detached, don't ignore her out of spite. Choose what's best for your growth and ideals. It means, I matter more than this fleeting moment. So if she reaches out, ask yourself if answering will honor the man you're becoming, or if it will pull you back into a place of doubt. Detachment gives you the insight you need to make that choice. It's not easy, but it's worth it. And remember that putting yourself first isn't selfish. It's necessary. Stay calm, my friend. Number 10. Stay strong. Your way forward lies ahead, whether you answer or not. Your next steps. Always keep in mind that your growth and happiness are the main goals. Stoicism tells us that happiness comes from inside, not from other people. Set goals for yourself. Identify your beliefs and find inner peace. Someone else's message doesn't make a strong man feel good about himself. Instead, he finds meaning in his deeds and trust in his path. Marcus Aurelius said, You have power over your mind, not outside events. Whatever you decide, make sure it fits with the man you're becoming. If replying makes you feel like giving up your power, remember this and find strength. If it brings up old questions, hurts, or fears, then maybe the best thing to do is to be quiet. It's not about proving a point or playing games. It's about keeping the base of your growth safe. Now, let's look at it from a different angle. If you choose to respond, make it deliberate and avoid reverting to old patterns or unresolved issues. A simple, neutral response can show that you're in charge of your feelings and story. For example, saying, "I'm doing well, thanks for reaching out," can set a boundary while still showing respect for yourself. The important thing is not to let the conversation take you away from the progress you've already made. The truth is that her reaching out isn't the test. How you respond makes the moment what it is. If you choose to ignore her, do it with clarity instead of anger. If you do decide to interact, do it on your own terms instead of because of what she said. Either way, you will accelerate your growth. Choosing this path should always be based on peace and self-respect, so take a deep breath and trust yourself. Remember that you're not the same person she left behind. You're stronger and smarter now, and you've been building a life based on purpose instead of fleeting feelings. Whether you answer or not, let your choice show what kind of man you are becoming: strong, calm, and sure of his worth. As this video comes to a close, let's take a moment to think about the lessons we've learned. When she reaches out, the real challenge isn't in her message, it's in how you respond. Whether you answer, stay quiet, or set limits, the important thing is to do so from a place of strength, self-awareness, and respect for the progress you've made. This pertains to maintaining your composure. Remember that silence isn't just not saying anything. It's a statement of self-respect and control. It shows that you're not ruled by outside events or fleeting emotions. Do respond, but let your words show your clarity and purpose. Every choice you make should reflect your values and life goals. The wisdom of Stoicism reminds us that our power lies in controlling our own actions and reactions. While you can't tell her what to do or when, you can handle the situation. It's not about winning or losing. It's about being sure of your worth and not giving up your peace for short-term pleasure. You've made too much progress to succumb to a single word. Let this moment serve as a reflection of how strong you are. Whether you choose to be quiet, give a neutral answer, or even have a heartfelt talk, make sure it's based on your values and not your feelings. You don't grow by avoiding problems. You grow by meeting them with wisdom, calm, and a strong sense of who you are. Thanks for watching today. If this video spoke to you, please go ahead and like it. Your help gets this message to people who might need it. I'd love to hear what you think. What did you learn that was most important to you? Tell me how you've dealt with similar events in the comments below. Before you leave, think about how your experiences could help someone else. Look at the suggested movies on your screen right now. They aim to assist you in managing relationships, gaining clarity, and enhancing your emotional strength. Remember that this path is yours and that each choice you make is a step toward becoming the best version of yourself. Trust yourself and stay strong. I'll see you in the next one.